about 12:27 here on Saturday. Let's see, better this way? There we go. Probably right there. That way it's kind of out of the way a little bit, somewhat. Hey, I'm sporting my new mug with my coffee here this morning. I'll make sure I don't spill it, okay? So join the movement. Hashtag Drowning Warriors. I am a drowning warrior. You can also get one of these mugs. I would appreciate it. If anything, it makes the coffee taste really good. And, can't go wrong with that. And if you don't drink coffee, put your other favorite beverage in it. I don't care. Anyways, hey, we're gonna have a nice discussion here. And I was kind of woke up this morning, wasn't really sure what in the world I was going to talk about. Saturday, sometimes I overslept. How many of you oversleep? I get up so early in the morning, probably only get about 5 hours sleep. I get up and I walk and exercise and do everything. And so, I forgot to set my alarm. And so in turn, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock when I got up. So I slept like 11 hours. So no bags under these eyes today. So let's see. So we are getting ready to, let me send my wife a message. She just tried calling me. So let her know that what I'm doing, because I just hung up on her. Sorry, honey, if you happen to tune into this. So just bear with me while we wait to see if anybody jumps on here. Oh, she's called me again. So let's say hi. Hey, honey, we're doing a live. Say hi to everybody. Yeah. Yep. You didn't mess it up. I was in the process of sending you a text message. So anyways, okay. All right. Love you. Bye. How funny was that? She says hi, by the way. She'll probably, she took one of our foster children to go get their hair cut here this morning. So anyways, how you like my daughter's shoes? Okay, just so you know, those were her favorite shoes. I mentioned that yesterday on my live yesterday, her favorite shoes. So, I can get one of those cubes with the podcast logo and everything that we have. But again, I think this makes a better statement. Not only that, it's right there in front of my face, and to remind me why I have to show up every day and do these lives, why I have to show up every day and have the phone conversations, why I have to show up every day and engage with people about some of the discussions that I engage them with. Because, I'm an advocate for all water safety, drowning prevention. I believe there's many areas we have problems in, and I believe there's many areas that can, need improvement. And a big part of that is our messaging and what we're saying and how we're saying it, and how we're communicating it and getting it to people. So let's go ahead and get my whiteboard show. Got it? My whiteboard show. There you go. Whiteboard. I don't know. Can you see that? Yep. 26 years, June 15th of this year. So my daughter, this will be the 26th anniversary of my daughter's drowning. So, we are on a mission. Okay. We are drowning warriors. And drowning warriors, we wage war every day with people that just don't believe that it can happen to them. But we also, unfortunately, wage war sometimes. Maybe that's too strong of a word, but sometimes we wage war amongst ourselves, which really doesn't need to be taking place, because we all are doing good work. And we all need to do the work that we're doing, but we need to support the work that other people are doing. And I support that. It's just that there's a topic here that, states here in the title, because, something I talk about, it'll be 26 years of my daughter's drowning. In 1993, there was roughly 4,000 drownings in the United States that year. The numbers decreased a little bit. I think they're reporting 3,800 roughly. But that number, when you talk childhood drowning has remained pretty constant. Okay, it fluctuates. It's like a roller coaster. It goes up, it goes down, goes up, goes down, but pretty much has been flatlined. Right around 1,000 children a year drown. Okay, with the leading portion of the 50% of those are children under the age of 5. So it is the leading cause of accidental death. But there's an interesting, here's the argument people have told me. And this, and they bring up the argument, but if we're 1,000 drownings a year, but the population, people say the population's doubled. We're going to discuss that here in just a second. But if the population is increased, doesn't that mean the drowning rate has decreased? Yeah, I guess you could say that. But here's another part of that argument. When we look at fatalities in the automobile industry, okay, so it actually, just so you know, and you can check these stats if you want, if there's some fact checkers, and I know there's a number of crutchers, people that love to try to hold people accountable, but I got this, I don't have the website in front of me, but, and again, there's the number. Can you see that? 60 million people. That's what our population has increased since my daughter drowned. So yes, the population has increased. Okay. And that argument, I do not disagree with that. It hasn't doubled, but it has increased. So here's the other argument. Okay. And this is off of a website. It's called fatality. There we go. Fatalityfacts. Okay. .org. Actually, let me tell you the website number here. And you can search it by searching, you can search it by searching, childhood fatalities for car accidents, because it's actually www.iihs.org, and it's under child safety, fatality facts, child safety. But they give some facts and stats as far as automobile accidents. Okay, so before I get into those numbers, here's the argument that, or basically what I want to bring out. 100% of the children are in cars. Can we agree to that, or do we disagree with that? They may not, mom and dad may not even own a car, but that child at some point in time gets in a car. So 100% of children are at risk at a fatality, okay, at a fatal car accident, because 100% of the children get into cars. And so if you want to use the population number, are we going to compare the numbers of children that are in cars to the numbers of children that are swimming, that go into open water, rivers, lakes, ponds, pools, whatever? Okay. So is there 100% of the children going swimming? Are there 100% of the children that enter the water? And I think you would probably say, you would not agree with that. In other words, we have 100% of the children that go into a car, whether or not it's every day, but in a year, let's say they get in a car one time a year. So 100% of the children are at risk of a fatality, right? Of a fatal car accident. Plain and simple. Can't argue that point. Okay. Just like you enter a pool, anytime you are in the water, you are at risk at drowning. So anytime you're in a car, you're at risk of dying in a car accident. That argument is the same. So, but 100% of our children are not in the water. I don't think there's any data or stats that would tell us what's the percentage or the number of people or children that are in the water. Okay. So the population argument, I just don't understand why people want to bring that up with me. I don't know if they just want to pat themselves on the back, or they want to deflect it off to another issue or another problem, by saying, hey, we're doing a great job here, but but the percentages have decreased. Even though we're still 1,000 children every year are still drowning, the numbers have decreased. Well, let me get my trusty whiteboard out, because the numbers are the numbers, and the numbers do not lie. The thing about it is you can't beat the numbers. Okay, you can only work the numbers. Okay, and so here's what. So let's go back to 1975. Okay, so 1975. There were 1,000. Well, let me just write it down here. Okay. There were 1,384 children under the age of 13. Okay. And I know second leading cause of drowning are children between the ages of 5 and 15. So okay, so we may not have all the numbers, but when we talk 1,000 children drowning, we have all the numbers in there. So even with that being said, that number probably, if we were to go up a couple more years on the age of children in cars, that number would be bigger than that. Okay, but this is for children at 13 years or younger. In 1975, there was 1,384 children who died in a car accident. Okay, so so let's go to, okay, my daughter drowned in 1993. Roughly 1,000 children that year drowned, just like now. Okay, but in 1993, that year, so let's talk, population was the same in 1993 when my daughter drowned as was when children had died in an automobile accident. Okay, here's the number. In 1993, fatalities, fatal children under the age of 13 years or younger, 1,221 children lost their lives in a car. Okay. In 1993, roughly 1,000 children drowned, and my daughter was one of them. She was 3 years old, 2 weeks before her 4th birthday. Okay. So is this hitting home a little bit? I don't know. It does with me. That's why I don't, anyway, well, I'm not going to get on my soapbox yet, but let's jump forward to 2017. Okay. What would you suspect? Population's doubled. So in 2017, our population is approximately 60 million people. So what would you suspect is the fatal number of children who die in car accidents? Okay. So the population has increased by 60 million. So in 1993, my daughter drowned, and there were 1,000 children that drowned in 1993, approximately. Okay. And there was approximately 1,331 children that drowned in 1979, okay? Or I'm sorry, that died in car accidents in 1979. And in 1993, there was 1,221 children that died in car accidents, okay? So here's the number in 2017, fatalities in a car, okay? 677 children lost their lives that are 13 years or younger in a car. But you say, and in 1993, there was 1,000, so in 1993, there was 1,221. So 1993, 1,221 children lost their lives in a car. In 2017, there's 677. So roughly, probably what, 40% decrease? But the population has increased. Okay. So I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet, because people argue with me all the time about the population. I don't care. All right? The number's the same. I'm looking at raw numbers. 1,000 is too many. Okay? So the argument of population, don't bring it up, because it doesn't, no pun intended, it doesn't hold water. Okay? All right. So now let's go to I forgot where I was going to go. But anyways, okay. So in 1993, there was roughly 1,000 drownings. And in 2017, roughly 1,000 drownings. And the numbers for 2018 are about the same, 1,000 drownings. And we're talking children, okay? So 1993 to present, roughly 1,000 drownings. So if the population has doubled and we have 100% of our children are at risk of dying in a car accident, because 100% of the children go in cars, but 100% of our children are not in pools and lakes and ponds, because not 100% of all the children go into the water. Okay, maybe baths. So if you want to bring in bathtubs, okay, but that takes in, I don't think you can lump them at 13 years of age and under in a bathtub, but that's probably another argument for another day. But anyways, I just feel that there's, the argument here is it just, people bring this population thing up to me, and I just feel like it's a deflection. Okay, does that make sense? It's a deflection of the real problem. So if cars are safer, okay, airbags, all these things, cars are safer. Car seats are better. They're manufactured better. They got warning labels all over God's creation on them. We know now not to put children in the front seat of cars, especially if there's an airbag. And we know, so we do, as parents and as a community and as a whole, we do better because technology is better and everything. But when it comes to water safety and drowning prevention, nothing's really changed. we still do pretty much the same thing that we did in 1993. So my question here is, if the population has increased, and you say, well, but the numbers of drowning are the same, so essentially the numbers of drowning are really decreased because our population's increased, but then you can't look at the percentage of numbers of people that enter the water versus that are in cars. But then the automobile industry and cars have went from, 1993, when my daughter drowned, they went from 1,221 fatalities for children under the age of 13 to in 2017, they went to 677. So not only has the population doubled, but it also decreased by 40%. What are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong as a community in the water safety, drowning prevention community? What do we need to do more of? Okay? Do we need more Facebook pages? Do we need to tell more sad stories? Do we need to have more high-profile drownings? Do we need to have, more communication, better messaging, PSAs? Do we need more laws on the books? I mean, I'm sure probably it's all of the above at some point, I don't know. But what I do know is, we all need to be true advocates, and that means if we advocate for water safety and drowning prevention, that we need to support everybody in their efforts completely. So when I put out a number about there was 1,000 drownings when my daughter drowned and there's 1,000 drownings today, don't turn around and tell me, but the numbers have really increased because their population has doubled. But then you cannot give me any data or stats that indicate that how many people are actually swimming and taking on going to the pools, lakes, and beaches. Now, is there more pools? Yes. Is there more water parks? Yes. Do people probably go to more people going to water? Most likely, yes. Okay. I'm not going to argue that with you. But the point of it is if the automobile industry, because 100% of the children go into cars, which means that 100% of the children are at risk of dying in a car accident 100% of the time, every time they're in the car. You can't say the same for 100% of the children are in swimming pools and 100% of the children are at beaches and in the oceans and lakes and ponds and ice fishing and on boats or whatever the case is. Not 100% of the population is in the water. Okay? So from that standpoint, the percentages just don't compare. So why can one, area or statistic with fatalities dealing with children improve and decrease by 40% while the population has doubled, but water safety, drowning prevention cannot decrease the numbers of drownings while the population is doubling? Okay, I don't have an answer for it. I'm just throwing this out there because I'm tired of people telling me population's increased. I don't really, let's get on the same page. Okay? There's a huge problem in the water safety and drowning prevention. Number one is the messaging, the story that we tell and how we do it. Okay? The pointing the fingers, and that we need to be true advocate, because pointing the fingers and saying, I don't like that person, I don't like that person, I don't like what that person says, I don't like what that person's teaching, I don't like that stuff needs to stop because it sends a message. It sends a message to the public. And nobody's going to listen and pay attention to us if we can't work together as a community. That's, 25 years, it'll be 26 years I've been listening to this. 26 years ago, or not quite 26 years ago, but almost 26 years ago, we were asking the same questions that people are asking today that lost a child just in the last year. We were trying to solve the same problems 26 years ago that they're trying to solve today. But then you have an industry that is highly regulated, has decreased the numbers of drowning, decreased the fatalities in cars. So, that's my soapbox for Saturday. Woke up this morning, had no clue what I was going to talk about, but I engaged somebody online, and they come back with the population argument again. I get this every day, people. I get this every day, and it's unacceptable. I don't really care if the population's. It's unacceptable to have the numbers be the same, but all the other industry. And I can go into. Let's look at some stats here. Okay, so when I'm talking about fatalities, okay, when in 1975, pedestrians, these are children under the age of 13 that were hit by a car. There was 1,632 that died. Let's talk bicycles. In 1975, there was 3,643 children that lost their lives on a bicycle that were 13 years or younger. Okay? Now, let's go. Oh, come here. Come on. 1993. So in 1990, where is it? There it is. 1993, pedestrians. These are children killed on the road, walking, crosswalks, whatever. 644 lost their lives in a crosswalk. 2,164. So 2,164. That's a decrease of over 1,200 from in just a period of 25 years. And then go to 2017. Okay. So when we look at 2017, pedestrians, children killed in a crosswalk, 170. Okay. Huge decrease. Children killed on bicycles, 939. That's a decrease of over 2,000. That's a decrease of over 50%. So when I say I want to decrease drowning by 50% by the year 2028, and the numbers support that, there's been a decrease in fatalities in cars by 50%. There's been a decrease in pedestrian deaths of children. There's been a decrease of children killed on bicycles by more than 50%. So when I sit here and say I want to decrease the numbers of drowning by 50% by the year 2028, okay, do you understand my message? Join the movement. Okay, let's get on the same page. Instead of saying, well, the numbers are the same, but they decrease. No, let's get on the same page. Let's decrease the numbers of drowning. Even if the population goes up another 60 million in the next 10 years, let's decrease the number. Because if that's the case, we are making a huge impact. Because the population is increasing and the number is coming down. Okay? I mean, I don't know if I can be any more clearer than that. And that's why we do what we do. Because Drowning Warriors, we show up every day and we wage war with those that just don't believe that it can happen to them. Because drowning, number one, is silent. It shows up when you least expect it. Okay? And it's fast. It's not like Hollywood. Okay? Make sure you use the hashtag Drowning Warriors in all your social media posts. Share that. That makes your stories show up with our stories. And as Drowning Warriors, these are our stories. So this is my story for today, and I'm sticking to it. Anyways, yeah, and the numbers are the numbers. That's the thing. Just like I said earlier, you can't beat the numbers, okay? All I can do is work the numbers. Let's improve the numbers. If I was investing money and I could get a 50% return in 25 years on my money, you better believe it that I'm going to be there with my money. But I can't get I'm getting a 0% return when I'm looking at drowning facts and I'm looking at the numbers of people that drown. That's a 0% return rate, in my opinion. Okay? Because because you can't sit here and say the population is double, because 100% of the population is not in the water. But 100% of the population are in cars. Even if they don't own one, they do get in a car at some point in time in their life. And I said, if we have 60 million more people, and if every one of those children get in a car one time, and that means they walk, then they become a pedestrian, but that number's dropped. Or they ride a bike, that number's dropped by more than 50%. Okay? Drowning has not dropped. Okay? Let's look at the numbers. Let's get on board. Okay? Drink your coffee in my mug. Go to thekelsgroup.com/movement. Figure out how you can get involved and share that hashtag with all your social media posts. That's the easiest way to get involved. Okay. Otherwise, get your coffee. It does. It tastes a lot better. So with that being said, you guys are awesome. Enjoy your weekend. Check out our podcast coming up this Thursday with Kim Emery with, I don't have it down here, but I believe she's with Swim and Smile Texas Swimming. Okay. Infant Swim. And make sure you get educated, layers of protection, the ABCs, and understand what all that's about. Okay. Because in order to decrease these numbers, We need each and every one of you to keep doing what you're doing. Okay. But we need to do it better, and we need to do more of it. That's kind of my solution to the problem. Okay. So hit me up, Rick at thekelsgroup.com, if you want to be a guest on our podcast. If you want to argue with me, that's fine. Let's argue. It's not going to make things better because you can't convince me anything else. And I'm not asking you, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. It's just that the numbers are the numbers. And so let's go true advocacy. Let's support everybody that's in water safety, drowning prevention. Let's go make a difference. And I love you too, Brenna. And so Brenna's my daughter. She was my daughter that came along right after her sister drowned about a year. Oh, just about a year later after Kelsey drowned. So appreciate you, Brenna, for tuning in. And some of you probably have seen some of my pictures of my granddaughter, Maylee, who comes here a couple times a week. So she spends some time with old man Grandpa here. So one of many grandchildren, should I say. So anyways, you guys have an awesome weekend. Enjoy your day. We will be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock, with another live, and we'll see what we can hash up for the good old whiteboard presentation. What can we say on that? Okay, you guys are awesome. Keep up the good work, like I said, and go grab your coffee mug. Join the movement. # Drowning Warriors. You are a drowning warrior, even if you don't have one. Okay, see you guys. It'd be nice if I could turn it off sometime here today, right? See you guys.